What are right now tools that you are going to integrate into your sales process and the team's work and in 2026? Because obviously the way you are selling and the way you're doing your job has changed, and I assume that lots of things became faster when it comes to listing and especially spotting the right people to talk to. So how does it help to do your job? Where do you save time, and what practically do you improve? And since you've got more time, how do you reallocate it?
So for me, it's potentially thrilling because some of the things that I was so terrible at are now becoming things the AI just does. So that, like, for example,
Great.
writing the basis of a contract or whatever, just, plug that into ChatGPT and it does it for you. And of course, you are reviewing that yourself, you're not, but it's just speedily putting it into templates that are, they add little value to the customer, just so long as they're in a proper order, and then you're building that narrative around. So for those things, I would use ChatGPT. Obviously, Claude is just going to destroy that in the next months, I think, in terms of its use for analytics and narrative development in sales. And I've seen it already. I was testing it the last week, how good it could be at building a pipeline summary and using obviously data that you input there. More specifically, I was there at the beginning where the Salesforce.com was when it was like $6 per license or something a month. It was nothing. So we were testing it going, why is it so cheap? And with people from Salesforce trying to call us to sell, I'm like, geez, no, we're spending like 560 euros a year. But of course, they saw the bigger picture. So I went through that Salesforce period. Okay, yes, it's important to keep CRM updated and follow a flow so you can report. But that then evolved into tools like Pipedrive and HubSpot ultimately. Now, our stack is quite light because we are a young company and we can't be just chucking tons of money into every single tech. So we pulled out of, say, Ample Market, which would have been enrichment and outreach technology. And now we have Attio for our CRM. So Attio, TTIO, is a very simplistic but also very powerful tool that you can really build up your understanding of your sales pipeline and also the marketing automations connected to it. And we're using a tool which I'm not sure how familiar people will be with this. I think it's a French startup called Topo, T-O-P-O. It means top of the funnel. And it's basically an AI SDR that you build a narrative for what you're trying to reach, who you're trying to reach, and then it will actually go out and look for leads in that. So that's taking the place of tasks that SDRs did in the past. And what I'd noticed from colleagues who've now all left Talent Pilot, they were having almost zero success with their own phones and stuff. And they did have some success. It wasn't enough to really justify their role, that they could do a much better job elsewhere where there might be sort of more solid pipeline. So we're using that, and we're getting some small successes from Topo now, but my sense is that that's going to take 2 or 3 months. And especially around AI, you need to look at it from a 3 to 6 month perspective to really test it properly and go back and forward and acknowledge all these kind of like parallel processes that you're developing, because eventually they'll just be one, but AI friendly approach, then you have an old school approach, and then you kind of go, okay, now the AI will just do this part, and this is where the human, the person, the taste maker gets involved and changes the story, changes the narrative, responds to the interested prospects. So that's Attio on the CRM side, and then Topo on the side of side of the AI SDR. We're fairly basic in terms of using the Google suite for annotation of meetings and then copying those into Attio. And we will have integration soon that will actually just do that automatically. I would highly recommend that approach to any go-to-market person. So that's the tech stack we're using. And when it comes to actual enrichment, we're a little bit tactical on this, using access to Apollo or Clay or Zoom Info, where we can find it. I work with some freelancers. They might have an access. They can help us in certain cases to build out for, like, for example, an outbound campaign, because you still get on your phone a lot.
Yes.
There was a little picture of my wife there on your phone to actually speak with people, because that cuts through the noise still if you have a phone number and you get the person at the right time.